Hello? Oh, no one's going to talk back to us. Okay, so are we just supposed to start? Okay.
Hi, I'm Noel from the Australian Institute of Advanced Studies, and
I'm Pankaj Saxena from the Australian Institute of Advanced Studies. Both Noel and I are the two directors of the college. Today's presentation is to give you an overall view of our college and the courses we offer and the pathways that we have for our courses. Both Noel and I have been in the teaching game for quite a few years, and Noel, I think, has been teaching in the vet sector and the TAFE college system for about 30 years, and I've been working in and out for about 15 years. Now, okay, how do we and work out where we start from? Okay, so that's very quickly. Both Noel and I worked at the TAFE, government TAFE college, and we decided to set up our own college about 6 years ago. And the reason for that was we felt that the where the college, the government college is being run, the courses were being really downgraded, and students weren't getting what they came for. And so an example of that, I'm sure that happens in India as well. Being a government institution, for 4 engineering teachers, we had 8 admin staff and 2 managers. And it was the admin and the managers who were dictating to us how many hours we can have to teach particular units. So we thought we could set up a better college, and to that extent we have our very quick, give you an example of one of these areas that we've excelled at. Our main course, which is the engineering course, is now being about to be recognized by Engineers Australia. Once we have that, that would make us one of 3 places in whole of Australia with that accreditation for the engineering course. The other 2 places that have this accreditation of Engineers Australia are 2 universities, which, as you know, the price for their course, the same course, is at least double what our costs are on this one. So that's the background to why we set up and how we've excelled in our courses. Just to give you a very quick background to myself, which I think is relevant, is I'm obviously from India, and I was born in India, but I left India very, very long time ago in 1965. And from then onwards, I was in the UK, where I studied. All my education was done in the UK. I graduated as an engineer, and I worked as an engineer for a couple of years in UK, and then moved to Australia, where I've been around 38 years. In between, I've also worked in the US for a couple of years. So the reason I mention this is because that gives you an idea that I have actually worked in most of the main countries where English is spoken and most students go to. So having said that, I've got to tell you personally, I know I'm in Australia, but of all the countries I've worked in or lived in, Australia is by far the easiest country for somebody from overseas to feel comfortable in, and I've done very well while I've been in Australia. So that's just a quick background to thing which is relevant. Okay, what we'll talk now about is the courses we have. The courses we have are the main one, our flagship, which does very well in the international market, is the Advanced Diploma of Engineering. The Advanced Diploma of Engineering is a 2-year course. It's a very, very strong course, as I mentioned to you. And the advantage with this course is once you do the course, we build your skills in a lot of areas with all the high-tech computers, 3D printing. We have speakers from multinationals, large companies. We visit companies to see how engineering is being done. And a very strong course. One of the main things with it is after the course you get the 485 post-study visa, and not one of our students has ever been rejected on that one. So everybody gets that visa, and the best part about our course is every student that has graduated from our college and wanted to move on to to working, we as a college have helped them and managed to get them all jobs. Now they all started with the 485, and now some of our students, first batch of students, are actually about to end their 485 visas. The companies they're all working for, every single one of them is ready and in the process of sponsoring them for the next visa, which is a 4-year visa. But once they have 2 to 3 years experience, it'll be their application for permanent residency will be very strong, and they should all be able to get that. Some of the students who are slightly older will actually be able to apply for PR just after 1 year's experience, depending on the area they're working in regional areas. So we managed to get every student a job. It's one of the interesting thing is why we're able to get these students jobs. The reason for that is Australians just are not doing engineering. When Noel and I were teaching at the government college, in those days we used to get something like 40 to 50 domestic students doing this engineering course a year. However, the government changed its policies and they started ranking schools. And how schools decided to make their ranking higher is by pushing everybody to the universities to do university courses. And universities accepted these students at a lower entrance level. And within 3 to 4 months, 60-70% of the students going into engineering dropped out of engineering at universities and went on to doing business courses or other courses within the university. But industry in Australia wants people with our level of qualification. And the reason I want to emphasize this slightly, in India and other places, like we've got students from Philippines, Sri Lanka as well, we find that a lot of those companies in India and areas like that, a company can have 20 engineers working for them. In Australia, generally what they have is 2, maybe 3 engineers who have got the bachelor's degree. The rest they use are students who've got something like the advanced diploma of engineering. The only difference between the two, reality of it is that our students do all the work, do all the design, but they can't sign off on the designs. That still has to be done by an engineer. So the companies will rather have 15 of our guys and then only a couple of engineers who do the signing off on the things. And in fact, interestingly, some of the companies where our students have gone, the company after 2-3 years has actually decided to sponsor our student to finish off a bachelor's degree so they can have them in-house signing off the designs. With our course, if you do not want to go into working and you want to still go to a bachelor's program, you will get up to 1.5 years credit towards a bachelor's degree, which is a great way financially as well. Universities charge around $35,000 a year. If you're getting credit for, say, 1.5 years, that's $52,000. Whereas our course for 2 years is $30,000, and you've got credits worth around $52,000. So both ways it works. I'll be honest, most of our international students want to work and start their process on the pathway to getting permanent residency. So at this point, as I said, every student who's graduated, we've managed to get jobs for. And in fact, we've got industry looking for more people, yet I can't supply any more until July when the next batch of students graduate. Both Noel and myself, we are very active in seeking jobs for these students. In fact, 2 or 3 months ago, we made a 4,000-kilometer round journey over 10 days, stopping off in all the towns to meet the engineering companies. And from that alone, we've got so much demand for people. So yeah, as far as engineering goes, to be honest, it is an absolute no-brainer. It works. The pathways are there. I've got the proof. I've got video testimonials, company testimonials. So all of that information is available. Should you want that, we can certainly supply with that. So for the engineering, I'm not sure much more I can add. Maybe Noel, you want to add a little
What
bit?
we do with our engineering program is that the course starts out basically revising some of the stuff that they may have learnt at school. So the student, we would expect for an entrance that they have at least IELTS 5.5, but 6 is preferred, and that they come from one of the sciences streams, I believe it's
That's
called.
right, yeah.
And even if they didn't do, or they're not overly confident or didn't do too well at their courses at school, we do revise the mathematics for them. We revise a lot of the stuff that they would have learnt in their grade 11 and 12 or whatever years.
In the first semester.
In our first semester. And then we build on those skills and that knowledge to get them through to the advanced diploma. What we also do with that advanced diploma is we in the first 12 months, we give them the units that make up a diploma of engineering. So they get a diploma of engineering after the first 12 months, and then they do the additional 12 months and get the advanced diploma of engineering. Of course, the advanced diploma of engineering is a much higher level course and is much more regarded in industry than the diploma. But the reason we do this is that it gives the students a goal, gives them a goal halfway through the course of having completed a diploma course, and that it also gives them a goal to get that advanced diploma.
One of the other advantages of having a diploma is if the students are able to we can help them get a job once they finish their diploma. It helps that they've already got a diploma, makes them a higher value person for their part-time jobs that they'd be looking for. Yeah.
Other course areas that we have, apart from engineering, we do have other course areas. We have aged care. We do a Certificate 3 in individual support and a Certificate 4 in aged care. And those two courses have a pathway in that they can be employed within industry once completing the course and hopefully be sponsored by an employer, or they can also go on to university and look at doing a bachelor's course with some credit from those units. That course is mainly open to registered nurses in their home country. So in your case, it's India. So it's mainly open to registered nurses who have some clinical experience in nursing. And the age range that we get, of course, for those students is anywhere up to 30, 35 years of age. So to be a clinical nurse or a registered nurse and have a clinical experience, you're probably not 18 or 19. You're going to be much older than that. And we've had no trouble getting people into the country to do that course. And of course, the progression for those is that once they've come in to do the Certificate 3 and Certificate 4 in individual support and aged care, they can then progress on and do the nursing preparatory course with us, which then allows them to look at doing the requirements to become a registered nurse within Australia. So what we do is we offer a 2.5-year program for that nursing or the aged care course, and in that 2.5-year program we assist them with their registration process. We assist them in training how to do the assessment for the registration process as well, so that hopefully at the end of the 2.5 years they're well on the way to becoming a registered nurse in Australia. The benefit of that is, in Australia, nurses, as in most other countries, are in high demand, and there's definitely a career pathway for nurses, registered nurses in Australia. The other option they can do, of course, is they can come in and do our units in a Certificate 3 and Certificate 4, and then proceed on to do a bachelor's of nursing at one of our universities, but that is a very expensive pathway. A Bachelor of Nursing at one of the universities can cost up to 80 or 90,000 Australian dollars, whereas what we offer is a much cheaper alternative in doing that Certificate 3 and Certificate 4 and the preparatory course to enable them to become registered nurses in Australia.
I'd like to add a couple of points on what Noel's just said about that course. This course has been very successful for us from the Philippines market. We've got a lot of students who are qualified nurses. Up to now, I've been trying to get somebody. I'd like to do a test run from India. I would love to get a potential student, who's a qualified nurse in India and has 2 or 3 years clinical experience. I would love to get a couple of applications for that, and then we'd like to see and process them. What we'll do is, once we get those applications, we will go to the Nursing Registration Board and say, these are the qualifications. Do they qualify for becoming nurses once they do the preparatory course and pass the exams with us. So that's something we want. I can't give you examples of success stories from India, but I can give you lots of examples of students who've come from Philippines. And that course was really pushed by the Philippines market for us. It's a great course. As I said, in Australia, I know for a fact, I've been seeing the hospitals, there are nurses from India. And to be honest, they've been generally from South India, from Kerala, but there's no reason why a nurse from North India with the qualifications and the experience couldn't do the same. So that's the one other area we do. What we'd like to do now, is we've got another one of our courses, which is the creative courses, which is for the creative courses like graphic design, screen and media. We do have a teacher that we wanted him to be here to do the presentation. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it at this time. So what we've got is a short video where I've got the actual teachers from the creative side to explain a little bit about their course. So what it'll do is now, I think it's a 3 or 4 minute video, we'll play that and then we'll add something more to it, and I've got other things we can add to that. Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike from the Australian Institute of Advanced Studies. I'm one of the lecturers here at the Institute, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our Certificate 3 in Design Fundamentals course.
The Design Fundamentals course was actually designed to get students ready for folio creation, introducing them to some drawing skills, some basic design skills. We also introduced them to digital drawing skills as well. So we touch on Affinity Designer, which is a fantastic little tool to be able to create things like logos and icons.
Typography and layout and brand identity and logo development and page layout and design and packaging, and these are awesome graphic design skills. We then work on an industry unit where you're looking at copyright and legislation and things like that that are going to help you when you leave this course, either to set up a business or to work as a freelancer.
The reason that we do this is to get the students really kind of set up to be able to go down one of 2 diploma directions, where they can either go into screen and media or into graphic design.
My name is David Warrilow. I'm a lecturer at the Australian Institute of Advanced Studies in Screen and Media. Our Diploma of Screen and Media course covers a wide range of topics. So in our course, our students are required to undergo a number of productions of different film and media types, from interviews, documentaries, narrative short films, music videos, infomercials, commercials, and other types of filmmaking and video making techniques, so that by the end of the course they've had a broad experience of working on any type of production that they can encounter in the professional world. It's a project-based course, in which case each film the student has to conceive of, develop, direct, shoot, edit and do the post-production on. And we do this a number of times throughout the course, because our intention by the end of the course is to have students that are self-sufficient and autonomous, that they can go out and get work and apply their skills to any video or production job that may be required of them. Our job and our role is to create graduate students that have the ability to tackle any project and have the confidence and experience to tackle any project that they may come up against in the real world.
The graphic design diploma is where students are able to put in place some of the skills that they've learned in their Cert 3s.
This is where you'll end up with an amazing portfolio, a printed portfolio and a digital portfolio and an animated portfolio. We extend on those drawing skills, we extend on that photography skills, we extend on your design skills from concept development to final prototyping, just like you would in industry.
The graphic design diploma is filled with a lot of creativity, but also we really drill down into the technical aspects of being a graphic designer.
We have a great course here. We really hope that you will join us, and I hope to see you here soon.
Okay, we're back. I do note that there are some questions, but before I start answering a couple of those questions, just want to finish off this portion of it for the creative course. In the one of the things that I found interesting when I went to India, when I've been to India, I've done some of those shows. I'm sure you know the TV station that shows all the agents doing the presentations about the different colleges. I've done a couple of those shows, and interestingly enough, I talked to one of the station owners, and I asked them, is there a need for people with these skills like the screen and media graphic design? His comment was very interesting. He said to me, a lot of times we show some of the programs 10, 15 times in a week on the same channel. He said that's not because the population wants to see this show 15 times, but said that there is in India that they're not producing enough digital content, and our students are more than ready to be able to do this. In fact, I think you might know these couple of boys that actually do the filming of these programs. There's a couple of boys, they're in Chandigarh, and they do this filming of these shows, and they apparently film 4 sessions, 20-25 minute sessions every day, and they're making around 2 lakh rupees a day, from what I've been told. So it is a great opportunity, and the skills those boys have are good skills. They are no better than the skills that we get our students up to. So so that basically covers our creative industry course. I'm going to respond to some of the questions that have just popped up on the screen. Maybe Mike, you can read them to us. Yeah?
Okay, so there's just one question here at the moment.
Yep.
But if anyone would like to add questions in the comments, I can read them out. So from Prince Verma, he's asking 5.3 and 3 modules accepted in your college, sir? If yes, also let me know about scholarship too.
Okay. All right. In terms of the IELTS score, I'm being very open with you. If you're going to come with a score of 5.5 across the band, then for visas to be successful, you need to have a pretty high average in your year 12 marks. And when I say high, you should be hitting around 70%. As far as I'm concerned, I can definitely take the student on, but I'm giving you advice on the basis that your chances of actually getting an approval, visa approval from the Australian High Commission. My recommendation to any student is please try and get 6 IELTS, because that increases your chance of success as far as the visa approval goes considerably. So if you can get me 6 with 60%, 70%, then you know you're on a good path to of actually getting the visa. And I'm going by statistics. We've done statistical analysis, and we found the person that the lowest mark that anyone ever got, and that was only one off. We had a person with 5.5 IELTS and a score of, I think, 62% average. Otherwise, that's been the lowest mark that somebody's come through. So my advice is more than happy to take you on, but the reality is visa will be difficult. I mean, the chances of getting a visa are slim. Okay. Does that hopefully that answers your question? Is there any other, Mike? Okay.
Not at this stage.
All right. Look, as far as questions go, more than happy for you to put questions on, and we'll respond as much as we can. What I'd like to do now is, so we've talked about our 3 courses. We've done the engineering, the aged care with the nursing qualification, now this one. I'm going to leave it to Noel. Noel, you may want to do about the childcare and the other course. Yeah.
No problems. So we have at the moment we have a couple of other courses as well that we offer. We have childcare, so we have a Certificate 3, I believe it is, and the Diploma of Childcare or childhood care, I think they call it, an education. So that's again is a 2-year program where they get the Certificate 3 and then they get the diploma in childcare. Now, the government's always changing its medium to long-term skills list. When we first put this course on our scope of courses, there was a pathway through childcare. Once you finished the diploma, you could go in and get sponsorship for working in childcare. At the moment, the government has changed the medium to long-term skills list, as you're probably aware, and childcare was taken off of that list. However, at the moment, there's also a big inquiry in Australia into the level of childcare that's being provided. And out of that inquiry so far, we've heard that one of the things that they've encountered is that most childcare facilities are understaffed and need more qualified staff. So what we're finding is hopefully in the short future, the childcare will be added back to the medium to long-term skills list, enabling our students to then have a pathway once more with employment, that is. Now, there is another pathway, of course, and that is going on to university. Once they've finished the Diploma of Childcare, you can then progress through to university with some credit points as well at the university. What we are finding, though, with the childcare course is if you are a teacher or you have clients that are teachers already within childcare or even within school system and they want to come to Australia, they can study the childcare course up to the diploma level. And if they've also got some experience in childcare settings and childcare facilities already, then they may be eligible for a pathway through employment because there is 1 or 2 elements of childcare still on the medium to long-term skills list, and that's basically childcare management. So there is the option there.
Yeah.
Nothing to add on that?
No, not really. I think I said if we can get people with a teaching qualification and some experience similar to the aged care one, then there, as I said, there was a pathway through employment, but at the moment it's been taken off. But I can't see them. I can see them putting it back on because there is such a huge shortage. Unfortunately, the governments are always 6 months behind in reacting. So I'm hoping that this will happen along the way.
Now, the other course that we have is, of course, we have the commercial cookery. So we have the certificate in commercial cookery and the diploma of hospitality management. Again, that's a 2-year program. And the entrance requirements for that are basically the same as for the rest of our courses. 5.5 will get you in. However, immigration will look at a higher IELTS score more favourably and reasonable sort of results in school. That course does have pathways for employment in that there are a lot of positions available in the commercial cookery area in tourism and hospitality. As you may understand or may appreciate, Queensland is actually a very large tourist destination, particularly North Queensland. So tourism is in big demand, and as I say, there is a pathway for commercial cookery and hospitality management. So that's a 2-year program with a pathway into employment and sponsorship.
Okay. One of the things I'd like to emphasize with all of the courses, in fact, we have another course that should be coming on board, but at the moment we put in for the application for that, and that's the diploma and the advanced diploma of cybersecurity. Now that is an excellent course. As I said, I will give you the information once that is being, once we're accredited to deliver that course. We're hoping that this accreditation will happen within the next 2 to 3 months. Once we do, we'll let you know. The one thing I want to emphasize is no matter what course we have, like we've got the engineering, such a high level, every single course we have in our college, we have made it that it is an excellent course and the students get the outcome. For the aged care, an example, at the moment, we've built a great relationship with a large company. And at this point, they're taking all our students who come in to the country to do this. They're giving them their temporary 20 hours a week job. And once they're finished, the company is now ready to take them on full-time, sponsor them for their PR. So we try and do this for every course we can. So it's not just a college that said, yeah, come in, do the thing, pay your money, you do your course and go. we do try and help all our students in that area. In terms of
with regards to the institute itself, all the teachers are very approachable. We have small class sizes. None of our classes are larger than 25, 24 students. Students have access to the Wi-Fi, of course. We provide free photocopying facilities for the students to photocopy their assignments and print their assignments. So all printing and photocopying is provided free of charge. Same with the student ID card. Other institutes make students pay for things like student ID cards or reassessments, and as I said, printing and photocopying. At our institute, we don't charge for any of that. Basically, once you've paid your enrolment fee, pretty well everything else is included, except for if we go on an excursion somewhere. Sometimes what we do occasionally is also we take the students on excursions to one of the islands in the bay around Brisbane here, and they go to the beach, they see kangaroos, they see koalas, and they play volleyball or soccer or whatever it might be. And normally we charge a small nominal fee for them for that, because it costs us the institute money for buses and the barge service or the ferry service as well. But we also have social events for the students. We have barbecues where we have both Indian food at the barbecues as well as meat, and we understand that of course a lot of Indians don't eat meat as well, so we cater to both lots of students. We also have social events such as movie nights where we have popcorn, and we also have karaoke nights as well. And if you look at our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, you'll see quite a few videos of students dancing and staff dancing with them as well. All the staff are very approachable. In fact, the staff like it when the students come up and talk to them and ask them questions about the course and about their progress.
Yeah, just want to add on that one. Both Noel and I still teach for the engineering, so I have a contact with the students. We are very involved with the students as directors of the college. We're not in a separate aloof area. We're part of it. A lot of our students approach us all the time. The other thing I wanted just to quickly go through is we are, in terms of our facilities, we're actually located on a government TAFE college campus. As a private college, we've got a private building, separate buildings, but on the campus, what that's given us is literally like a university campus. We're on 20 acres of land. There's coffee shop, there's a canteen, there's library, large open areas. And we're 6 kilometers from the city, and we've got plenty of parking space. And there's 2 major bus services that run from both sides of the college. What I'd like to do now is I'm just going to share a video. It's a very short video about our facilities, and after that we can come back to any general questions and we can round up. Okay. Okay, that was just just to give you an idea of our facilities. Now, I believe there's a few more questions, or a couple of questions. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
another one here that we didn't get to before
Yep.
that Prince Verma asked.
Yep.
And he says, thank you for addressing his other question earlier, but where were we? And it was Gurpreet
Yeah.
asking about the scholarships, which also Prince Verma asked earlier. So if you could
Okay.
talk about that.
Scholarships. I guess we've not really had them. One, the main reason is we actually do a lot more than any other college. I think if you ask a lot of the agents, you will find out that not one of them can say that any college has made sure that their students get the jobs that we help students get and put them on the pathway. So all of that, obviously, like myself, I travel a lot to see engineering companies and this relationship we've built with these other companies. But we can certainly have a look at it once once you put your application in. We will definitely have a look and see how we stand on that one. So yeah, we can definitely have a look at that. Okay. Anything else? I hope that addresses.
Okay, I'm not too sure what this Kuldeep Jangra is asking here.
Yeah.
There's a couple of words there that I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's looking to do with course fees, possibly by the looks of it, 2 years and PGWP. I'm not sure what that's talking about. But
Postgraduate work visa, I think.
Yep, okay.
Okay. All right. So with the fee structure, well, for the COE, you obviously have an initial, but different courses have different initial fee. I would say, and it works on how many units or the proportion of the course that's covered in the first 6 months. That's usually the way we look at it. And then there's obviously you have, and then the rest of the payments. What we'd like to do is the remaining payments are done at the start of each semester. So there's 4 semesters, it's a 4-year course. You've paid your first semester fees, and then the remainder amount is paid at the beginning of each semester. And that's the way it's worked, and it seems to have been working well in that aspect. You do know that once you are studying, you're entitled to work up to 20 hours a week. In Australia, the minimum wage in Australia is around $20 an hour. Now, to be honest, a lot of students are working a lot more than 20 hours. So we found that most of the, especially the Indian students, because there's such a large network of Indian students in Brisbane and companies that work there, that once the student arrives here, their friends or somebody here can say, we've got a job for you over there. And so they're able to get employment fairly quickly. And I don't think I've found any student who struggled to make the payments for the start of each semester, especially from India, because as I said, there seems to be a good network of students who are able to help each other in obtaining employment. Yeah. I should add one more thing actually that I forgot. That's not relevant to the question, but the engineering course. All our students who've graduated and have got these jobs, the kind of salaries they're starting on is most of them starting on around $50,000 a year, which is a good salary. The best part about it is the job that they have is working in an engineering design office in a nice air conditioned, it's a white collar job and highly respected in industry and in society. So, and after 2 to 3 years, these students' value in Australian industry it will be anywhere between $70,000 to $110,000 a year. I have students who graduated 4 years ago. They're now earning around $120,000 a year, which is a terrific salary, a great lifestyle. Okay, I'm not sure there's any more questions,
the
Mike.
Postgraduate visa.
Yep.
So the postgraduate visa, once the students have finished the 2-year program, they are of course entitled to their postgraduate visa. We would suggest that they, as they're nearing completion, of course, apply for that visa before the course finishes. And I think that's 18 months postgraduate visa. and that allows them to work unlimited hours pretty well. And as Pankaj has mentioned, we do seek employment for the students. We have good contacts within industries, both for engineering and for aged care, and we have some contacts in the creative industries as well. With commercial cookery, we have good contacts in that industry as well. So we don't seem to have any problems placing students in employment when they finish the course, and then of course with that 18 months postgraduate visa, they can then apply for sponsorship after that if they've got an employer that's hopefully willing to sponsor them.
Which in most cases they are.
Most cases it does happen, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions, Mike?
No other questions as yet, but if people want to leave questions in the comments, I'll happily read them out.
All right. So there's not much more we can add to that. So what we might do is we might end it here. But if there's any more questions, please place them on, and we'll respond to them individually.
There are lots of resources available as well. We do have a OneDrive folder that has all the videos available there, our enrolment forms, which most of it is available if you email us as well. But we do have a OneDrive folder which we share to all our agents, which as I say, includes resources such as videos and some of our marketing materials, our enrolment forms and the like. So if any of you are having any problems accessing any of those files or require any resources like that, just feel free to email us at information@aias.edu.au, and we can reply to that email with whatever resources or links that we may have to resources on the website. The other thing is there are an abundance of videos on our YouTube channel as well about the college, about the institute, about the courses that we teach, and also some videos from the students, testimonials from the students as well, giving you an idea of what the institute does and how well it performs and how much the students enjoy being here.
Yeah. So and also, as you said, we've got Facebook. Have a look at the activities that have been happening, and we're also on Instagram, so you can see some of the daily events and things that keep happening at the college. There's not much more we can add to this one. I think what we'll say is we'll call this an end. Thank you for joining in, and I'd love to see some of you apply and come to our college and start your pathway to a future in Australia. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.